Happening now, a motion has been filed for a temporary restraining order challenging provisions of the Farm Laborers Fair Labor Practices Act. And the New York DMV reminds drivers of vision test requirements and restrictions. Plus, the Jamestown High School prepares for homecoming festivities.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thank you for joining us in Western New York News Now. I'm Lee Kane Jr. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, on September 30th, 2023 at 7:54 a.m., troopers from Clarence responded to a multi-vehicle collision on State Route 5 in Newstead. Preliminary investigations revealed that a 2011 Kia and a 2017 Chevrolet were both traveling eastbound when the Kia stopped to turn into a driveway. The Chevrolet subsequently rear-ended the Kia and then tragically crossed the center line, colliding head-on with a 2019 Honda. The 18-year-old operator of the Kia sustained serious injuries and was transported by Mercy Flight to the Erie County Medical Center. Unfortunately, the operator of the Honda, identified as Keith C. Wagner, 54, of Rochester, New York, was pronounced deceased at the scene. It was noted that the 18-year-old Kia operator was not wearing a seatbelt. Well, in other news, legend Terrence Davis, 20, and Nathan Ramore Arnold, 23, both from Rochester, New York, along with Blake Montel Cran, 27, from Willoughby, Ohio, have been arrested and charged with the possession of a U.S. Postal Service key and theft of mail, announced U.S. Attorney Trini E. Ross. If convicted, they could face a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. The arrests stem from an ongoing investigation by the U.S. Postal Inspection Service in Rochester, which has been probing a series of mailbox key thefts since January 2023. On October 2, 2023, postal inspectors responded to a report of a tampered USPS collection box near the Brighton Station Post Office. En route, they spotted two individuals matching previous robbery suspects' descriptions walking toward the Grease Post Office on Latta Road. Subsequently, 3 collection boxes at the Jefferson Road Post Office were targeted, leading to apprehension of Davis, Arnold, and Cran following a brief chase. Well, in other news, in an incident that occurred on September 27, 2023 at approximately 4 p.m., the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division conducted an investigation resulting in charges against Jeffrey Kozlowski Jr. and Danielle Greenway. The two individuals, aged 35 and 45 respectively, were found on a property located on Bard Road in Arkwright, New York, 14718, allegedly without permission. They are facing charges of criminal trespass in the second degree. Kozlowski Jr. and Greenway are set to appear in the town of Arkwright Court to answer the charges. Well, in other news, Damian M. Baird, a 51-year-old resident of Clarence, was arraigned today on multiple charges, including grand larceny and forgery, as announced by Erie County District Attorney John J. Flynn. The alleged incidents occurred between February 3, 2023 and March 15, 2023, when Baird, an investment broker, purportedly obtained $153,503 fraudulently from 3 Erie County clients. Instead of depositing the funds into their investment accounts, he allegedly directed the money into his personal bank account. The investigation was initiated after a client discovered their investment account had not been funded and that their check had been altered to be payable to Baird. Baird was released on his own recognizance since the charges are non-qualifying offenses for bail. A return court date has not yet been scheduled. If found guilty of the most severe charge, Baird could face a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison. As WNY News Now continues, a motion has been filed for a temporary restraining order challenging provisions of the Farm Laborers Fair Labor Practices Act. And later, the New York DMV reminds drivers of vision test requirements and restrictions. Stay with us as WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The Grow New York Farms Coalition, composed of industry leaders, announced today its motion to seek a temporary restraining order, a TRO, against the enforcement of certain collective bargaining provisions within the Farm Laborers Fair Labor Practices Act, also known as the FLFLPA. While the FLFLPA was intended to address important labor issues in the agricultural sector, the coalition contends that essential policy changes are needed to ensure compliance with federal law and the protection of fundamental rights such as free speech and due process. One critical issue the coalition raises is the potential conflict between FLFLPA provisions and federal immigration law, specifically concerning the hiring of foreign guest workers through the U.S. Department of Labor's H-2A program. The coalition emphasizes the need for policy adjustments that safeguard the rights of both domestic and foreign agricultural workers. Furthermore, the FLFLPA has created a unique labor landscape in New York. It currently prevents private sector farm workers from participating in fair and free secret ballot elections to elect labor representatives, a situation not found in any other U.S. state. The coalition argues that this lack of freedom of choice undermines freedom of speech and due process. The Grow New York Farms Coalition asserts the need for transparency and fairness in the state's labor laws, particularly in addressing the card check system and its potential for misrepresentation. The coalition calls for swift action to rectify these issues and ensure equitable treatment for all individuals involved in agriculture, both farm workers and farmers alike. Representatives from the agriculture industry echo these concerns. Brian Reeves, president of the New York State Vegetable Growers Association, highlighted the unintended consequences of the FLFLPA on farms that rely on a mix of local and out-of-state workers. Joel Christ, a next-generation farmer at Chris Bros Orchards, emphasized the importance of protecting farm workers' rights and establishing fair labor practices. Brandon Mallory, CEO of Ag Replacement Services Incorporated, discussed the challenges of complying with conflicting state and federal regulations in the context of hiring guest workers. Kevin Bittner, an employee at Bittner Singer Orchards, stressed the need for clarity and fairness in labor policies. The coalition's motion for a TRO signifies the growing concerns among stakeholders in New York's agricultural sector regarding the FLFLPA's impact on labor practices and workers' rights. Well, in other news, to obtain or renew a driver's license in New York, individuals must undergo a vision test. The test aims to confirm the visual acuity of at least 20/40 in one or both eyes, with or without corrective lenses, as per the Snellen Visual Acuity Scale. Vision tests can be conducted at DMV offices or submitted electronically by enrolled vision care providers listed in the DMV Online Vision Registry. Alternatively, they can be submitted using the Vision Test Report MV619, completed by qualified professionals such as physicians, physician's assistants, ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians, registered nurses, or nurse professionals. The report must be in English if mailed or submitted to the DMV. The DMV has started sending license suspension notices to approximately 95,000 drivers who renewed their licenses between March 1, 2020 and August 31, 2021, but failed to submit their vision test results as required by the self-certification exemption. Drivers with vision limitations may have restrictions placed on their licenses, such as B for corrective lenses, telescopic lenses for powerful corrective lenses, or daylight driving only for impaired night vision. To remove a corrective lenses restriction, drivers can provide proof of passing a vision test without corrective lenses in the following ways: online removal through an enrolled vision test provider's notification, removal at a DMV office during renewal or replacement, or removal by mail with proof of vision test results or a vision test report, MV619. Applicants must complete the necessary forms and pay applicable fees. The vision test report's validity varies based on its print date, either for 6 or 12 months after the eye test date. Well, in other news, in a historic move, Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy has been removed from his position as Speaker of the House after a 269-day tenure, marking the first ever removal of a House Speaker through a recall vote. The removal of Speaker McCarthy occurred with a narrow vote of 216 to 210, orchestrated by a group of 8 Republicans who were dissatisfied with his leadership. The motion to vacate the Speaker's position was spearheaded by Representative Matt Gaetz, who cited McCarthy's cooperation with Democrats to avert a government shutdown as a breach of trust. McCarthy had initially secured the Speaker's gavel in January after making a pact with the party's hardline faction, but Gaetz and his supporters accused him of reneging on that agreement. The recall vote, which took an unprecedented 16 rounds to conclude, sets a new record in House history. This development signifies a rare and significant moment in U.S. politics, as it marks the first time a House Speaker has been ousted in such a manner. The repercussions of this decision will likely reverberate throughout the political landscape as the House seeks a new leader to guide the nation's legislative agenda. Well, coming up next, the Audubon Little explorers investigate animal skulls, bones, and teeth on October 14th. But first, we return with a look at our full weather forecast.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Well, first I want to talk about a new record for the Lake Erie water temperature in Buffalo. The old record for the beginning of October was 69 degrees, and yesterday the lake temperature reached 70 degrees, so that broke the old record. The water temperature off Lake Erie in the Buffalo area should be in the lower 60s for this time of year, but currently it is sitting at 70 degrees, which is the new record. But we will get cooler air filtering into the region over the weekend, so eventually those Lake Erie water temperatures should be coming down over the weekend and into early next week with the cold air filtering across the region. The almanac for today, we made it to a high of 80 degrees yesterday in the city. Our low was 55, and the record today, 85, set back in 1951. I will let you know tomorrow if Jamestown did tie or break that record, and a record low for today, 23, set back in 1985. So a cold front's going to move through the region slowly on Friday. That's going to bring some widespread rain showers to the region with the slow-moving cold front and the couple embedded thunderstorms within that cold front. The NOAA Weather Prediction Center has placed the entire region under a marginal risk to see some flash flooding on Friday. What that means is there's a 5% chance that there might be some flash flooding within 25 miles of any location. Now, we're not expecting really any widespread flash flooding, but with the slow-moving nature of this cold front, there's a chance to see some flash flooding on Friday. So let's time out future scan through the overnight hours and into today, tomorrow. Generally partly cloudy skies overnight tonight across the region. Warmer temperatures overnight as well. I'll tell you about that in a moment. After some early morning sunshine tomorrow, the clouds will be on an increase through the afternoon, and we might get into some isolated showers later in the evening, but the bulk of any rain should hold off into the later overnight hours of Thursday into early Friday, and then the widespread rain comes on Friday and continues into Friday night as that cold front marches across the region. Here's your forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy skies. Again, a warmer overnight period. Overnight lows will range from the upper 50s to the lower 60s across the inland locations to the upper 60s to near 70 at the Lake Erie shoreline. Your forecast for tomorrow tomorrow after some limited sunshine early on in the day. Clouds again will be on the increase today afternoon. Still a warm day tomorrow, but not as warm as the previous few days. Highs tomorrow will range from the upper 70s to the lower 80s. And now that 7-day outlook from Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So Friday, that cold front moves through the region, and behind it, cooler air filters in the region. We're looking at highs on Saturday only in the mid-50s, mid to upper 40s on Sunday, and still in the lower 40s, or still in the upper 40s to lower 50s even in the next week. But the colder air will allow for lake effect rain showers for the weekend right on through early next week.
Andrew, thank you. Well, the Audubon Community Nature Center, located in Jamestown, New York, is hosting an engaging educational event for young nature enthusiasts. Skulls, Bones, and Teeth is designed to introduce children aged 3 to 8 and their accompanying adults to the fascinating world of vertebrates, animals with backbones. During the event, participants will have the opportunity to examine real animal bones and discover how skulls, teeth, and other body parts provide insights into an animal's life and diet. Children will be encouraged to piece together clues from the bones to identify the animals they originated from. Following an informative indoor session, attendees will venture outdoors to investigate the local wildlife by analyzing animal bones found on the premises. A snack will be provided after the outdoor hike, and if time permits, a craft activity will be offered. The program, held rain or shine, requires a fee of $12 for adults and $9 for children aged 3 to 8, as well as Nature Center members. Due to limited enrollment, interested individuals are encouraged to make reservations by Thursday, October 12, 2023, either by calling 716-569-2345 during business hours or by visiting audubоncnc.org and navigating to programs and events. Well, coming up next, Jamestown High School is preparing for homecoming festivities.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
If you want to speak truth to the masses, make it funny for the classes.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
As anticipation builds, 12 JHS seniors have been selected by their peers to represent the homecoming court. The honored students include Carson Bain, Aiden Devereaux, Cole Jolie, Messiah Jones, Caitlin Kennedy, Keith Miller, Abby Monaghan, Jillian Overbeck-Thompson, Jonathan Overbeck, Ethan Pumford, Carly Rock, and Matea Spitzer. The week leading up to homecoming has been filled with spirited themes at JHS, including an anti-bullying Blue Shirt Day, Tropical Tuesday, Zoom Conference Day, Soccer Moms vs. Barbecue Dads Day, and Color Wars Day, where students proudly sported their class colors. A bonfire and pep rally behind Jamestown High School on October 4th will celebrate the fall captains. On October 5th, homecoming athletic contest will feature a JV and varsity girls volleyball matchup at 6 p.m. in the McElrath Gymnasium. The highlight of the week, the JHS Homecoming Parade, kicks off at 6 p.m. on October 6th at Allen Park, concluding at Strider Field where the JHS football team will face Lancaster at 7 p.m. Raider royalty will be crowned at halftime. Additionally, on October 7th, varsity girls soccer will play FT LaBeouf at 11 a.m. at Strider Field. The homecoming dance will be held at the Jefferson Middle School Gymnasium that Saturday evening, with pre-sale tickets available for $5. Students are reminded to purchase tickets in advance, as no tickets will be sold at the door. Well, that's going to be it for us today. I'd like to thank you all for watching. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. You can download it today for free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We're also on Channel 716 on Roku and at channel716.com. Thank you for watching.